shooting 2 classmates and a teacher.
School shooting.
Shoot at Pulaski High School.
High school shooter.
Shooting at Olathe.
School threat.
Shooting. Mass shooting. Deadly school shooting.
When will this stop? Gun violence must be controlled and acted upon. This is what the everyday American child fears could happen to them at least 180 days out of the school year. And this is what happened in my school, October 6th, 2021.
Well, when I heard the shots, I couldn't believe it. No way this could be happening right now. It's like one of those things you see on the news but never really believed it could happen at your school. And so yeah, I watched as my teacher rushed to the door to ensure it was locked and turn off the light. And it was really the first time I had ever felt true fear. We sat in the dark corner of the room awaiting the all clear, and I heard many sirens until men with huge guns came into the classrooms, pointing them at us. And I didn't know what was happening or what had happened, but I had dreams about it after. Like, what if I was in the hallway? You know, I would ask myself that a lot, trying to process what happened. And sometimes I would dream about it. It took me a really long time to get over it.
We will never be completely safe, but we can be safer. As a country, we need to be more mindful of how easily a kid can get a hold of a gun. They need to be taught how they should and should not be using them. In America, at least 4.6 million children live in a home where at least one gun is unlocked and loaded. Statistics show that from the year I was born, 2008, to 2024, there were 70 more school shootings. That means in 2024, there were 78 school shootings, which is at least every other day.
Well, I think first of all, in the home, have the firearms locked, that doesn't give access to kids. But then also just in a family culture, like our last name is Kraft. Like in our Kraft family, this is what these guns are for. These guns are for hunting, and these guns are for sport, and these guns are for personal protection. And to keep that in the forefront of every family culture is how you train children. And that you know, if they do not have access to a gun safe, or if they don't have access to the locks on guns, it would never be a problem. But I do think if you have guns in your home, that you should have them in a very safe place. Ideally, a gun safe, or just where you, as the adult, know where they are. And you know, I think it's okay for children to know where the guns are, but if they do, that there be a lock on those guns.
Gun violence has to be a top priority in our country. Statistics show us that guns are the leading cause of death among American children and teens. This number is 5 times higher than drowning and car crashes. We can no longer sit back and afford to wait for something to be done.
I do believe that it's important that we train our teachers in their classrooms to be able to protect their students, whether that be arming them or whether it be the policies to lock down the school and the communication that there is an active shooter on the premises. There needs to be good planning and good response. But I think really and truly, if someone wants to do a lot of harm and take out a lot of people, they're probably going to get past the security of the school. So the real line of defense is going to be the teachers in the classrooms.
Most people who end up committing this crime show many signs of their attack. More than 75% of school shootings raise concern before the attack even happens. In 4 out of the 5 school shootings, at least one person already knew that it was going to happen.
It's not necessarily the gun, it's the mental health issues, and we have to do something where we're allowing either the court records or HIPAA to get those mental health records into the background checks, because the background checks are only as good as the information that's in them.
When it comes to the schools, why we see violence in school, it's because it's a soft target. So somebody who has ill will, who's mentally ill, who's full of hate, well, they look for a soft target where they can walk in and know that there's not going to be many guns there. If they do have a resource officer or something like that, that helps. But a place like a school and a church are soft targets. So somebody who has ill will are going to go to the soft targets. Plus, they're all gathered together so they can make the greatest impact if they're out to kill people.
We have to be more mindful of people and their situation. We have to give people the help they need, because mental health really does matter. If we do background checks on mental health, people will not even be able to purchase a gun.
Firearms seem to be more easily accessible, whether it's at home or whether it's through background checks, the way we conduct background checks on people. A lot of guns are sold on the open market. A lot of guns are sold through social media platforms like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp. Though dangerous, they're still being sold like that.
The evidence is clear. It's time for us to have a national conversation about America and mass shooting. And let me say, the manufacturers shouldn't get off the hook. They aren't just selling another product. Let me show you one that I think is particularly outrageous. Sadly, this is in my home state of Illinois. It's a JR-15. It's designed to look like the AR-15, the combat weapon assault rifle. It's lighter, so it can be carried by a kid. Here are the symbols, incidentally, of this gun, JR-15. They're skulls. They're skulls of children.
We hope that through this documentary, you become more informed about gun violence and school shootings in America, and it becomes a more important subject to you than it was. School shootings are often overlooked, and it's not something to be taken lightly. The more attention and light we shine on the issue, the better the chances of getting a solution and a way to reduce the problem. So we will ask one more time, when will it stop?